Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment to reflect. How many of you at some point have been eager to share your plans, your ambitions, or your dreams with someone? Maybe it was over a cup of coffee, or maybe it was late at night when excitement got the best of you. We want to share what we're working on, don't we? It feels good to let people in on our dreams. But here's what I've learned, and it's a lesson I want to pass on to each and every one of you: never tell people what you do. Now, I know that sounds counterintuitive, it sounds harsh, maybe even a bit secretive, but hear me out. When we start talking about our plans before they're fully realized, we unintentionally invite opinions, criticism, and sometimes even negativity. The moment you speak your dreams into the world, they're no longer your own. They become subject to other people's interpretations and expectations. I want to encourage you today to move in silence. Focus on your work, on your growth, on your purpose. Let the results speak for themselves. Because when you're secure in what you're doing, when you're focused on your purpose and blocking out all the noise, that's when the real magic happens. The world will always have something to say, but it's up to you to decide whether you're going to let those voices in or keep the focus on your journey. You don't need validation to succeed. You don't need applause before you've crossed the finish line. Let your actions be the loudest voice in the room. When you finally show the world what you've accomplished, trust me, it will speak volumes. Your journey is personal in ways that go beyond what anyone else could ever fully understand. No one has lived your life, walked in your shoes, or experienced the world through your unique lens. Your path, your dreams, and your goals are deeply intertwined with your past experiences, your personal challenges, and your inner desires. It's a path shaped by your individual strengths, weaknesses, fears, and passions. When we say your journey is personal, it means that only you truly know the reasons behind the choices you make, the sacrifices you endure, and the dreams that keep you awake at night. Others might catch glimpses of your journey, they might see parts of your struggle or success, but they can never fully grasp the depth of your story. That's because your journey is filled with moments of quiet contemplation, internal battles, and silent victories, things that don't always show on the surface but are foundational to who you are. Each person's path is as unique as their fingerprint, and that means your process is yours alone. The struggles that you face may be invisible to others. The triumphs that fill your heart with pride might go unnoticed by the outside world. But that's okay, because the value of your journey isn't determined by how others perceive it. It's about how deeply it resonates with you. In life, it's easy to get caught up in comparing your progress with others. We live in a world that constantly promotes comparison: who's moving faster, who's achieving more, who's getting recognized. But when you realize that your journey is personal, you stop measuring your success by anyone else's standards. You start understanding that the timeline you're on, the obstacles you encounter, and the pace at which you move forward are all perfectly designed for you. It's also important to remember that the challenges you face are often deeply connected to the lessons you need to learn. What works for someone else might not work for you. And that's because your path is designed to teach you things that only you need to understand. It could be patience, resilience, or the ability to trust your instincts in moments of uncertainty. Whatever the lessons are, they're meant for you and no one else. Your personal journey also involves countless internal transformations, shifts in mindset, moments of doubt, and breakthroughs of self-realization. Sometimes these changes are subtle and private, occurring far away from the public eye. People might not see the emotional labor you've put in, the sleepless nights, or the quiet sacrifices you've made along the way. And yet, all of these moments are crucial pieces of your story, shaping you into the person you're becoming. This is why you don't owe anyone an explanation for where you are on your path or how far you've come. The opinions of others are often based on their limited view of your situation, and that view is usually incomplete. What may seem like a delay to someone else could be an important period of growth for you. What may appear like a setback could be a detour leading to something far greater. Remember that nobody else can define success for you. Success is deeply personal too. For some, it may mean financial achievement or public recognition. For others, it might mean peace of mind, freedom, or creating something meaningful that aligns with their values. because your journey is personal. Your definition of success is yours to craft, and that's incredibly empowering. Ultimately, understanding that your journey is personal helps you stay grounded and focused. It frees you from the need to broadcast your every move or seek approval from others. It gives you the clarity to trust yourself in your process, knowing that no one else has the right to dictate the path you should be on. Your journey is personal because it's about you, your growth, your fulfillment, and your truth. It's a sacred space where you get to make the choices that resonate with your soul without needing to justify them to the outside world. And when you honor the personal nature of your journey, you give yourself permission to move forward with authenticity, confidence, and grace. Protect your energy. Now, let's take a moment to really sit with that. You see, your energy is one of the most precious things you have. It's your life force, your spirit, your essence. It's what drives you when you're passionate, what carries you when things get hard, and what sustains you as you navigate through the ups and downs of life. And yet, we so often forget just how crucial it is to guard that energy with everything we've got. When I talk about protecting your energy, I'm talking about being intentional about where you place your focus, who you allow into your space, and what you give your time to. You know, there are people and situations in this world that will drain you dry if you let them. Some folks will bring negativity, doubt, and drama right into your life, and before you know it, you're carrying their burdens along with your own. That's not your job. You weren't put on this earth to fix everyone else, to solve everyone's problems, or to take on the weight of other people's chaos. Your responsibility is to protect your energy, because if you don't, no one else will. Let's be real, there will always be people who want to test your boundaries, who want to take advantage of your kindness, and who want to pull you into their drama. But here's what you've got to understand: you are in control of your energy. You decide where it goes. And when you allow yourself to be drained by situations or people who don't deserve your time, you're taking away from what truly matters: your own growth, your own peace, and your own purpose. Think about this. How many times have you said yes to something that didn't feel right in your gut, only to regret it later? How many times have you let someone else's negativity seep into your day, stealing your joy and throwing off your balance? Every time we allow that to happen, we're giving a little piece of our energy away. But you've got to be selective about who and what gets access to that energy. One of the hardest lessons I've learned is that it's okay to say no. It's okay to put up a boundary and protect your space. Saying no doesn't make you selfish, it makes you wise. It means you're prioritizing your well-being, your peace of mind, and your ability to show up fully in the areas that matter most. Because if you're constantly depleted, constantly running on empty, how can you ever be the best version of yourself? I want you to know this: it's okay to step back from relationships that are draining you. It's okay to distance yourself from situations that don't serve your growth. It's okay to take a break from environments that don't align with your peace. Protecting your energy means being aware of how every interaction, every conversation, and every decision affects your inner world. You don't owe anyone an explanation for putting yourself first. You don't need to apologize for choosing your peace over someone else's chaos. This life we're living, it's not a dress rehearsal. Every day you wake up, every moment you breathe, you have the choice to either protect your energy or let it be taken away. Now, that doesn't mean you close yourself off from the world or become isolated. It means you become intentional. It means you learn how to discern between what nurtures you and what drains you. It's about surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, who support your growth, and who respect your boundaries. And when you find yourself in situations that feel toxic or draining, it's about having the courage to step away. Protecting your energy isn't just about keeping negativity out, it's also about filling your life with things that restore and recharge you. Spend time in nature. Surround yourself with beauty. Do the things that bring you joy, that make your spirit come alive. Find the spaces where you can breathe deeply and feel whole. Because when you protect your energy, you create a foundation for everything else in your life to flourish. At the end of the day, your energy is sacred. It's the fuel for your purpose, your dreams, your creativity. And when you protect it, you honor the most important relationship in your life, the one you have with yourself. So guard it fiercely, nurture it wisely, and never ever forget that your energy is worth protecting. Avoid external validation. Let me tell you why this is so important, and let me tell you what it really means, because it's something we've all struggled with at some point. From the time we're young, we're taught to seek approval. We're conditioned to crave it. Whether it's from our parents, our teachers, our friends, or even society at large, we get used to the idea that what other people think about us determines how successful, how worthy, how important we are. But here's the truth: the moment you start seeking validation from outside sources, you give your power away. You hand over your sense of worth, your confidence, your belief in yourself to someone else's opinion. And let me tell you, that's a dangerous place to be. Because no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you achieve, there will always be someone who doesn't see your value. There will always be someone who doesn't understand your vision or appreciate your journey. If you base your worth on what other people think, you'll be on an emotional roller coaster, up when they approve, down when they don't. You'll find yourself constantly adjusting, twisting, and bending who you are to fit into someone else's expectations. And in the process, you'll lose sight of what truly matters: your own voice, your own intuition, your own truth. Validation from others feels good in the moment. I know it can feel like a warm glow, like a pat on the back that says, yes, you're doing something right. But here's the thing: when you rely on that validation to feel good about yourself, you become dependent on something that's not stable. Other people's opinions change. They're influenced by their own biases, their own insecurities, and their own limited perspective of your life. What they see is a snapshot, a fraction of who you are. And no one, I repeat, no one can fully understand the entirety of your journey, your struggles, your inner battles, and your dreams. When you avoid seeking external validation, you give yourself the freedom to be. You allow yourself the space to explore who you are without the pressure to meet someone else's expectations. You stop performing for approval and start living for yourself. There's a profound strength in that, because when you trust your own voice, when you validate your own worth, you become unshakable. This isn't about shutting out the world or ignoring feedback. Feedback can be valuable, but it should never define you. Take what's helpful, but always filter it through your own sense of self. You are the only one who knows your heart, who understands the depth of your passions and the fire in your soul. And that fire cannot be fed by someone else's approval. It has to come from within. Think about it: if you need someone else to tell you that you're good enough, successful enough, smart enough, then what happens when they don't? What happens when their approval isn't there? Are you going to stop believing in yourself? Are you going to let their opinion define your potential? I want you to realize that your worth is not up for debate. It's not something that fluctuates based on how many likes, compliments, or accolades you receive. Your worth is inherent. It's a fact. It exists whether or not anyone else recognizes it. And let me tell you something else: seeking external validation can dilute your purpose. If you're always looking outside of yourself for approval, you'll start shaping your actions to please others instead of following your true calling. You might find yourself chasing goals that aren't even yours, doing things that don't align with who you are, just to hear someone say, "Good job," but is that really what you want? Do you want to live a life built on someone else's standards, or do you want to live a life that's authentically yours? When you stop chasing validation from others, you begin to live with integrity. You make decisions based on what feels right for you, not based on what will earn you praise. And that's where true freedom lies. It's the freedom to pursue your own path, to honor your own values, and to trust that your worth is not conditional on anyone else's approval. Now, don't get me wrong, it's natural to want to be appreciated, to want to be seen, to want to be understood. But that desire for connection should never come at the cost of your own sense of self. You can want appreciation without needing it. You can enjoy recognition without depending on it. The key is to find your center, to know who you are, and to validate yourself from within. So how do you avoid seeking external validation? You start by listening to your own inner voice more than the voices around you. You remind yourself daily that you are enough, just as you are. You learn to sit with your accomplishments, your dreams, your progress, and feel proud of them without needing someone else to tell you they matter. You build a strong foundation of self-worth that no amount of criticism or praise can shake. And when you reach that place, let me tell you, the world opens up in ways you never imagined, because you're no longer confined by the limits of other people's opinions. You're no longer held back by fear of rejection or criticism. You're free to live boldly, authentically, and unapologetically. You're free to be exactly who you are, knowing that the only validation you need is your own. Let the results do the talking. There is power in that statement. There is wisdom in that approach. Too often we get caught up in trying to explain ourselves, justify our actions, or prove to the world what we're capable of. But here's the thing: words are easy. Promises are easy. It's the results that tell the real story. You see, when you let the results do the talking, you're making a choice to step out of the noise. You're choosing to focus on action instead of explanation. You're putting your energy where it belongs, into the work, into the progress, into the quiet grind that no one sees. And that's where greatness is born. It's not in the loud declarations or the big speeches about what you're going to do someday. It's in the everyday effort, the discipline, the dedication, and the commitment to getting things done. When you let the results speak for themselves, you stop wasting time trying to convince people of what you're capable of. You stop seeking validation or applause before the work is finished. Because deep down, you know that once the results are there, the world will have no choice but to pay attention. The results will be undeniable, and at that point, you won't need to explain or defend anything. Your success will speak louder than any words ever could. Think about it. How many times have we seen people talk endlessly about their plans, about what they're going to achieve, about how they're destined for greatness, only to never see those plans materialize? That's because talking about it is the easy part. The real challenge, the real test, is in the follow-through. It's in doing the work day after day when no one is watching, when there's no audience, when the road gets tough and the doubts start creeping in. That's where success is built. Letting the results do the talking is also about humility. It's about knowing that you don't have to broadcast every move you make. You don't have to shout from the rooftops about every step you're taking toward your goals. Because when you're focused on the work, when you're committed to the process, you don't need the external fanfare. You don't need the instant gratification of being noticed. You're in it for the long game. You're playing to win, not to impress. And let's be clear, there will be doubters. There will be people who don't believe in you, who don't see your vision, or who try to downplay your potential. But when you let the results speak for themselves, you rise above all of that. You don't need to respond to the negativity or try to convince anyone of your worth, because the results will be the ultimate proof. When you achieve what you set out to do, when you bring that vision to life, all the doubters, all the naysayers will have nothing left to say. That's why patience is so key. We live in a world that's obsessed with instant results. We want things now. We want success overnight. We want recognition before we've even done the work. But true, lasting success doesn't happen in an instant. It takes time. It takes consistency. It takes a willingness to keep going, even when the results aren't visible yet. But if you stay the course, if you keep putting in the effort, the results will come, and when they do, they'll speak volumes. Now, letting the results do the talking doesn't mean you have to be silent or hide your ambitions. It's not about shrinking or keeping yourself small. It's about being intentional with your energy. It's about choosing to focus more on what you're doing than on what you're saying. There's a quiet confidence that comes with that. A confidence that says, I don't need to tell you what I'm capable of, because soon enough you'll see it for yourself. When you lead with action, when you let your work speak for itself, you gain respect in a different way. People start to notice, not because you're telling them how great you are, but because the results are right in front of them. And results don't lie. They're tangible. They're real. They are the undeniable evidence of your effort, your passion, and your commitment. It's also about trusting the process. Sometimes the results don't come as quickly as we'd like. Sometimes it feels like all that effort is going unnoticed. But if you stay focused on the work, if you keep your head down and push through, the results will eventually catch up. And when they do, they'll speak louder than anything you could have said along the way. So let the results do the talking. Let them tell the world who you are, what you're capable of, and what you stand for. Let them be the proof of your hard work, your persistence, and your dedication. And in the meantime, keep moving, keep building, keep growing. Because in the end, it's not about what you say you'll do, it's about what you actually accomplish. And when you do, the world will have no choice but to take notice. Silence builds power. It's a concept that might seem counterintuitive at first, especially in a world where we're often encouraged to speak up, to be heard, to make noise. But there's a different kind of strength that comes from silence, a strength that doesn't rely on being the loudest or the most visible. In fact, some of the most powerful moments in life happen in quiet, when the noise fades and all that's left is clarity, focus, and intention. When you embrace silence, you tap into a deeper source of power, one that isn't about proving yourself to others or constantly being in the spotlight. Silence allows you to connect with your inner voice, the part of you that knows who you are and what you want without the distractions of outside opinions. It's in these quiet spaces that true self-awareness is born, where you learn to trust your own instincts and gain a stronger sense of purpose. In silence, you find the time to think clearly. You're not rushing to respond, not reacting impulsively, but instead pausing, reflecting, and choosing your next steps with intention. In a world that moves fast, where decisions are often made in haste, taking the time to be silent gives you an edge. It allows you to gather strength, to observe, to assess the landscape before you make your move. That kind of strategic thinking rooted in silence can be far more effective than any loud declaration or hurried action. There's a reason why some of the most successful people move quietly. They understand that making noise early on can bring unnecessary attention, opinions, or even resistance. When you're constantly broadcasting your plans or sharing your next steps, you invite others into your process, and that can dilute your focus. Silence, on the other hand, protects your energy and your vision. It allows you to build without interruption, to grow without interference. You don't need to prove anything in the early stages. You can simply work, develop, and evolve under the radar, away from the spotlight. And when you're ready, the results will speak for themselves. Silence also builds resilience. In the quiet, you learn how to face your own fears, doubts, and insecurities without external distractions. You learn how to sit with discomfort and not run from it, how to find solutions within yourself rather than seeking constant validation or advice from others. This process makes you stronger because you're not relying on anyone else to guide you through your challenges. You're becoming self-sufficient, learning to trust your own ability to handle whatever comes your way. That kind of inner strength is unshakable because it's built in solitude. There's also a calm that comes with silence, a peace that helps you stay centered even when the world around you is chaotic. In moments of tension or conflict, silence can be your greatest ally. When others are quick to speak, quick to react, and quick to escalate a situation, silence allows you to stay grounded. It gives you the space to respond rather than react, to take in the full picture before making a decision. That calm, deliberate approach is a form of power because while others are caught up in the storm, you're the one standing steady, unmoved, in control. Another way silence builds power is by keeping others guessing. When you don't reveal your every thought, plan, or feeling, you maintain an element of mystery. People don't know your next move, they can't predict your actions, and that unpredictability is powerful. Silence gives you the upper hand because it keeps you in control of what information you share and when. You're not giving away your strategy before it's time, and that can make you formidable. It forces others to respect you, not just for what you say, but for what you withhold. There's also a deep personal power in silence because it allows you to recharge. Constant talking, constant explaining, and constant sharing can drain your energy. But silence is restorative. It's in the quiet moments that you can reflect, regroup, and regain your strength. Silence offers you the space to nurture yourself, to reconnect with what matters, and to reset your focus. It's a form of self-care that many overlook, but those who know the power of silence understand how essential it is for maintaining balance and well-being. When you choose silence, you're not choosing passivity. You're choosing to channel your energy into what truly matters, into your work, your growth, your purpose. You're choosing to act rather than speak, to show rather than tell. That's a powerful shift because actions over time create real impact. And while others might be caught up in making noise and seeking attention, you're quietly building something lasting, something meaningful. Silence also teaches patience. It teaches you that not every moment requires a response. Not every situation needs immediate action. Sometimes the best thing you can do is wait, watch, and listen. In that waiting, you gain insight. You begin to understand things that others might miss in their rush to speak or act. And when you finally do make your move, it's informed, it's strategic, and it's far more powerful because it's been shaped by careful thought and consideration. At its core, silence builds power because it allows you to be fully present with yourself. It removes the distractions, the noise, the need for approval, and brings you back to your center. In that stillness, you find clarity. You realize that your power doesn't come from how loudly you speak or how often you're seen. It comes from the strength within. When you embrace silence, you tap into that inner power, and that's where real transformation begins. Minimize distractions. It sounds simple, but in today's world, it's one of the most challenging things to do. We live in an age of constant noise, notifications pinging, emails piling up, social media scrolling, and a never-ending stream of information pulling us in 100 different directions. Distractions are everywhere. And if you're not careful, they will rob you of your focus, your time, and ultimately your potential. Minimizing distractions isn't just about clearing your physical space or silencing your phone. It's about taking control of your attention and deciding what truly deserves your energy. Distractions are subtle, but they have a powerful impact. They seem harmless at first, like checking your phone for a quick update or watching one more episode of your favorite show. But over time, they add up, and before you know it, they've chipped away at the time you could have spent working on your goals, deepening your skills, or simply resting. The true cost of distractions isn't just in the moments they steal, it's in the opportunities they make you miss. When you minimize distractions, you reclaim something invaluable, your ability to focus deeply. Focus is the key to achieving anything meaningful in life. Without it, your efforts are scattered, your progress is slow, and your mind is always divided. But when you eliminate distractions, something powerful happens. You enter a state of flow, where your concentration is so intense that everything else fades away. In that state, you're not just more productive, you're more creative, more insightful, and more engaged with what you're doing. The best work, the deepest thinking, and the most innovative ideas come from these uninterrupted moments of pure focus. It's important to understand that distractions don't just come from the outside world, they also come from within. Your own thoughts can be the biggest distraction of all. Worries about the future, regrets about the past, self-doubt, and overthinking can pull your attention away from the present moment, leaving you unfocused and unproductive. Minimizing distractions means learning to quiet your mind, to push aside the mental clutter so that you can concentrate fully on what's in front of you. This takes practice, but it's essential if you want to reach your full potential. Distractions dilute your energy. Every time you switch tasks, even for a moment, you lose momentum. Your brain has to refocus, and that takes time and effort. It's like trying to sprint while stopping every few steps. You never build up enough speed to reach your destination. When you minimize distractions, you allow yourself to stay in the zone, to build up that momentum, and to push through to the other side of your goals with more efficiency and clarity. Another important aspect of minimizing distractions is understanding that not all distractions are obvious. Sometimes what seems like important work is actually a distraction in disguise. Busy work tasks that make you feel productive but don't move you closer to your goals can be just as detrimental as scrolling through social media. It's easy to get caught up in the small, day-to-day tasks that feel urgent but aren't truly important. When you minimize distractions, you also have to learn how to prioritize. You have to be honest with yourself about what really matters and focus your time and energy on the tasks that will have the biggest impact on your long-term success. Minimizing distractions also means creating boundaries. In a world where we're expected to be available 24/7, it's essential to set limits on when and how people can access your time. You don't have to respond to every email immediately. You don't have to answer every phone call, and you certainly don't have to be online every moment of the day. Protect your focus by creating time in your schedule where you can work uninterrupted without the constant demands of others pulling you away from what's important. It's not just about work either. Minimizing distractions applies to every area of your life. When you're spending time with loved ones, be present. Don't let the distractions of your phone or your to-do list pull you away from the people who matter most. When you're relaxing or taking time for yourself, truly disconnect. Allow yourself the space to recharge without the distractions of work or external obligations. By minimizing distractions in all areas of your life, you create a sense of balance and peace that allows you to be more focused, more present, and more fulfilled. One of the greatest benefits of minimizing distractions is the clarity it brings. When your mind is constantly bombarded with distractions, it becomes cluttered. You can't see your path clearly, and it's hard to make decisions or know where to focus your efforts. But when you minimize distractions, the mental fog lifts. You gain clarity about what's important, what you need to do, and where you're headed. With that clarity comes confidence. You stop second-guessing yourself and you start moving forward with purpose. Minimizing distractions is also about discipline. It's about training your mind to stay focused even when it's tempting to give in to the easy distractions around you. It's about developing the habit of deep work, of setting aside dedicated time to work on your most important tasks without interruptions. This kind of discipline doesn't happen overnight, but with practice it becomes a powerful tool that helps you stay on track and achieve your goals. At the core, minimizing distractions is about valuing your time and energy. Your time is your most precious resource, and once it's gone, you can never get it back. When you allow distractions to take over, you're giving away your time, your focus, and your potential. But when you make the conscious decision to minimize distractions, you're saying that your goals, your growth, and your life are worth more than the temporary satisfaction of a quick distraction. In the end, minimizing distractions is about creating space for what truly matters, but it's about cutting out the noise so that you can focus on the work, the people, and the experiences that will move you forward. It's about living with intention, making choices that align with your values, and staying focused on what will bring you closer to your dreams. When you minimize distractions, you maximize your potential, and that's where true success lies. Stay focused. Those two words are powerful, yet they carry an immense responsibility. Because staying focused is not just about paying attention to what's in front of you, it's about guarding your dreams, honoring your purpose, and dedicating yourself to the vision you hold for your life. Focus is what separates those who wish from those who do. It's the bridge between intention and action, between where you are now and where you truly want to go. When you stay focused, you are making a commitment to yourself. You're saying, I'm going to show up for my dreams every single day, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many distractions come my way. Because distractions will come. Life will throw challenges, unexpected detours, and noise your way. There will be moments when everything around you is calling for your attention, pulling you in 1,000 different directions. But when you stay focused, you anchor yourself in your purpose. You don't allow those distractions to derail you from what truly matters. Focus requires discipline. It's about learning how to say no to the things, the people, and even the opportunities that don't align with your vision. And that can be hard. We live in a world where we are constantly bombarded with options, where multitasking is praised, and where being busy is often mistaken for being productive. But staying focused means making a conscious decision to cut through the noise. It's about choosing what's essential over what's urgent, and knowing that every yes to something that doesn't serve your purpose is a no to what really does. Focus is about clarity. When you're clear about what you want, staying focused becomes less about forcing yourself to concentrate and more about staying aligned with your truth. You can't focus on everything, so you have to get crystal clear on what your priorities are. What are you working toward? What are the goals that matter most to you? When you have that clarity, the path forward becomes simpler, even if it's not always easy. You stop chasing every shiny object that comes your way, and you dedicate your energy to what will move you forward in the direction of your dreams. Staying focused also means being present. It's about giving your full attention to the moment you're in, whether that's working on a project, having a conversation, or spending time on self-care. When your mind is constantly racing ahead to the next task or lingering in the past, you lose the power of the present. But when you stay focused on the here and now, you're able to tap into your full potential. You engage fully with whatever you're doing, and that's where real progress happens. Being present allows you to give your best effort and brings a deeper sense of fulfillment because you're no longer just going through the motions, you're truly living your purpose. Now, staying focused isn't always about doing more sometimes. It's about doing less. It's about simplifying your life so that you can concentrate on what really matters. When your mind is cluttered with too many thoughts, ideas, and responsibilities, focus becomes impossible. You can't do everything, and you can't be everywhere. Staying focused means making deliberate choices to remove what doesn't serve you, to free up mental and emotional space for what does. It's about decluttering your life both physically and mentally so that you have the capacity to give your best energy to your most important work. Focus also brings power. When you give something your full attention, you bring all of your energy, your creativity, and your talent to it. You're not divided, you're not half invested, you're all in. And when you commit fully, when you stay focused on your goals without wavering, you begin to see results. Doors start to open. Progress accelerates. What once seemed out of reach begins to come into focus. That's the power of staying focused. It aligns your actions with your vision, and the universe responds to that kind of commitment. But staying focused isn't just about getting things done. It's about honoring your purpose. It's about showing up every day and saying, I'm here, I'm doing the work, I'm committed to my vision. It's about persistence, even when it gets tough. Because focus doesn't mean the path will always be easy. In fact, staying focused often requires navigating through challenges, setbacks, and doubts. But that's where your power lies, staying focused in spite of those obstacles. When you keep your eyes on the prize, even in the face of adversity, you build resilience. You prove to yourself that your dreams are worth fighting for. And let me tell you, staying focused is a form of self-love. It's about valuing your time, your energy, and your gifts enough to not waste them on things that don't serve you. It's about knowing that your potential is too precious to be squandered on distractions. When you stay focused, you're saying, I believe in myself enough to give my best effort to what I care about. You're saying, I trust that I have what it takes to reach my goals, and I'm willing to do the work to get there. Focus is about progress. It's not about perfection. There will be days when it's hard to concentrate, when distractions seem overwhelming, and when you lose sight of your path for a moment. That's okay. Staying focused isn't about never getting distracted. It's about coming back to your center when you do. It's about constantly realigning yourself with your vision, reminding yourself of why you started, and refocusing on what matters most. So stay focused. Stay grounded in your purpose. Remember why you're doing what you're doing, and keep your eyes on the bigger picture. The distractions, the noise, the doubts, they will always be there. But when you stay focused, you rise above them. You move forward with intention, with clarity, and with confidence. And that's how you turn your dreams into reality, by staying focused, one step at a time. Surprise the world. There's something magical about doing what others don't expect. It's more than just defying expectations. It's about breaking through the limitations others might place on you, and even the ones you might place on yourself. Surprising the world is about showing up in ways that make people pause, rethink, and wonder. It's about redefining what's possible, not just for others, but for yourself. When you surprise the world, you do it by staying true to who you are while constantly evolving and growing in ways that people didn't see coming. It's about keeping your moves close to your chest, working quietly, and then revealing the results when they're ready. The beauty of this is that you don't have to seek validation or permission. You're not announcing every step or explaining every decision. Instead, you're putting in the work, making progress in silence, and when the moment comes, you let your success speak for itself. It's powerful to move in ways that people don't anticipate. So many people spend their lives trying to fit into molds, trying to be predictable, or doing what's expected. But when you surprise the world, you step outside of those boundaries. You challenge norms, you think differently, and you act in ways that make people pay attention. It's not about being rebellious for the sake of rebellion. It's about expressing your uniqueness, your creativity, and your authenticity in ways that leave a lasting impact. Surprising the world means taking risks. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone, doing things that scare you, and embracing the unknown. People tend to expect the ordinary, the safe, the predictable. But when you take a bold leap, when you trust yourself to do something unconventional, you catch people off guard in the best possible way. And here's the truth: surprising the world starts with surprising yourself. You've got to be willing to stretch beyond what even you think you're capable of. When you break through your own self-imposed limits, that's when the real magic happens. The act of surprising the world isn't necessarily about grand gestures or dramatic announcements. Sometimes it's about quiet perseverance. It's about working on yourself, developing your skills, and nurturing your dreams when no one else is watching. It's about making the small, consistent choices that others don't see, and then revealing the impact of those choices when the time is right. It's in those moments when the world sees what you've accomplished that they're surprised, not because you've done something outrageous, but because you've done something they didn't think possible. Surprising the world also means not being defined by your past. People may have an idea of who you are based on what you've done before or where you've come from, but that's only part of the story. You have the power to rewrite your narrative at any moment. The person you were yesterday doesn't have to dictate who you are today or who you'll be tomorrow. When you decide to break free from the constraints of your past, you give yourself the freedom to grow, to change, and to evolve into someone who's capable of much more than others or even you once believed. Surprising the world is about timing, too. You don't have to rush to show your hand. Sometimes the most powerful moves are the ones that come after you've taken your time to build, to prepare, and to position yourself for success. There's strength in patience. You don't have to be in a hurry to impress anyone. When you move at your own pace, quietly making progress and focusing on your vision, you're able to surprise the world in a way that feels natural, not forced. There's also an element of joy in surprising the world. When you exceed expectations, when you do something that others didn't think you could do, there's a satisfaction that comes not from proving others wrong, but from proving yourself right. You realize that you are capable of far more than you or anyone else could have imagined. That's when you start to trust yourself more deeply. You begin to see that the limits others place on you don't define you, and that the only limits that really matter are the ones you accept for yourself. Surprising the world isn't about seeking attention or accolades, though those may come. It's about being driven by a deeper purpose. It's about knowing that you're here for something greater, that you have gifts, talents, and contributions to offer that no one else can bring in the way you can. When you surprise the world, you do it because you're walking in alignment with that purpose, because you're following your own path instead of the one others have laid out for you. There's also humility in the act of surprising the world. It's not about boasting or showing off. In fact, some of the most profound surprises come from those who are humble, who are quietly putting in the work without fanfare. They don't need to broadcast their progress every step of the way. And when their success becomes evident, it's not only a surprise, it's a testament to their dedication, their resilience, and their authenticity. Ultimately, surprising the world is about living in a way that's true to yourself and letting that truth shine through in everything you do. It's about breaking free from expectations, yours, others, and society's, and choosing to live boldly, creatively, and authentically. When you surprise the world, you inspire others to do the same. You show them that there's more than one way to live, that the possibilities are endless, and that they too can surprise the world by stepping into their fullest potential. Confidence without broadcasting is a powerful, understated strength that often goes unnoticed in a world that frequently equates confidence with loudness, bravado, and constant self-promotion. Yet true confidence does not demand the spotlight. It shines quietly and steadily from within. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't require validation from others or the need to shout your achievements from the rooftops. Instead, it emanates from a deep sense of self-awareness, understanding, and authenticity. When you possess confidence without broadcasting, you carry yourself with an inner assurance that is rooted in your values, your abilities, and your experiences. You know who you are and what you stand for, and that knowledge alone fuels your confidence. It's not about how many people applaud you or how often you're acknowledged. It's about the unshakable belief that you are enough just as you are. This self-assuredness allows you to navigate the world with grace, knowing that your worth isn't contingent on external accolades or approval. In many ways, confidence without broadcasting is about mastering the art of subtlety. It's the quiet strength that allows you to engage authentically without feeling the need to dominate the conversation or prove yourself. You can listen deeply, reflect thoughtfully, and respond with intention, all while holding on to your own self-assuredness. This kind of confidence fosters genuine connections because you're not seeking attention, you're focused on being present with others. Your energy invites collaboration and open dialogue, creating an atmosphere where everyone feels valued and heard. Moreover, confidence without broadcasting is incredibly resilient. In a world that can be harsh and critical, this type of confidence doesn't easily waver in the face of adversity. You may not always receive praise or acknowledgement, and setbacks are inevitable. However, when your confidence is rooted in your intrinsic value and abilities, you are less likely to be shaken by outside opinions. You understand that failure is a part of the journey and it doesn't define your worth. Instead of being disheartened, you see challenges as opportunities for growth, learning, and evolution. This quiet confidence also empowers you to take risks and pursue your goals without the need for external reassurance. You're willing to step outside your comfort zone, try new things, and face uncertainties head-on because you trust yourself and your instincts. You don't require a cheering crowd to take action. Your internal compass guides you. This self-reliance is liberating. It frees you from the shackles of needing others' approval and allows you to forge your own path. Furthermore, confidence without broadcasting often inspires others. When people witness someone who is secure in themselves yet humble, they are naturally drawn to that energy. It encourages others to embrace their own authenticity without the need for theatrics. Your actions, driven by this quiet confidence, can serve as a powerful reminder that true strength doesn't have to be loud to be effective. It opens the door for others to find their own voices and confidence, encouraging a culture of empowerment rather than competition. Another aspect of this type of confidence is the ability to celebrate others without feeling threatened. When you're grounded in your own self-worth, you can appreciate the achievements and strengths of those around you. You don't see their success as a threat to your own, rather, you see it as a testament to the endless possibilities available to everyone. This mindset fosters community and collaboration, as you're more likely to uplift and support others in their endeavors, knowing that their success does not diminish your own.